Hello and welcome. I am Matt Roddy, and this is the Greater Prescott Podcast, where we talk about, you guessed it, all things Greater Prescott. Today, I am at Prescott Pro Wash and Detail with Eric and Chase. You guys, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Absolutely. During this episode, you are going to get to learn a little bit about their background, what they do for a living, why they do what they do for a living, and what brought them to the Greater Prescott area. So that's what you guys can expect. As I tell all my guests, I really do appreciate your time. I really do. You guys are really busy, just like I'm really busy. So thank you for carving out a little time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
To get things started, I want to set the context for the people listening. So I'd like you, Chase, to begin by giving us 5 or so minutes of born and raised, some of your interests growing up, and just kind of give people a sense of who you are.
Well, my name's Chase Gibble, originally from Los Angeles, California, a transplant. But I've been all over the states. I've lived everywhere from South Carolina to Maryland to D.C.
Really?
And then the whole Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon. Yeah, and then back to California for a little bit, and now I'm kind of, here in Arizona. I love it here.
A military?
No, just
Okay.
business, just working.
Gotcha.
In my 20s, I really wanted to go out and venture into the country, out into across the whole country and kind of check it out. So I think when I was about 25, I packed up my car and I had a job waiting for me on the East Coast. And so I went out to the East Coast, drove cross country to the East Coast, started working, spent a few years there and decided I'm going to try the Pacific Northwest. Was there for, again, 2 more years and then bounced back to California and realized not for me anymore. And then now I kind of ended up here. And I love it here. It's a great community. It's a great area. A lot of fun things to do. The seasons are great. You can always do something in the winter or the summer and the spring.
Totally.
Love it.
Interesting how when you travel to a lot of different places, it gives you perspective.
Absolutely.
And whether you liked where you lived in LA, I think it's important to get that type of perspective in life. I'm interested to hear, because you're born and raised native here. So tell us a little bit about you. And
I'm not quite as adventurous as Chase, but
you do mountain bike, so you're
a lot
definitely
more adventurous
adventurous. It depends how you define that.
My name's Eric Eby. Born and raised here in Prescott. I been living here for my whole life. I've got 3 kids, a wife at home. I like to mountain bike. I like to go camping. Like to do outdoor stuff. Love detailing cars too. So, I love the community we live in and love working here. So,
What'd you do when you were growing up? What kind of activities?
I did a lot of tennis. My dad was
Really?
my dad was a tennis instructor.
Okay.
So he worked at the Prescott Racket Club for many years, and I grew up playing tennis my whole life. So
When was the last time you played?
It's been a few years. Yeah, it's been a while.
I bet you were pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Did you play in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you travel? Like, were you at that high of a level?
No, not really.
Okay.
No. I played for the high school team, so we traveled around, played local teams.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have not met many tennis players. That's
Fun
great.
Sport. Oh yeah.
That's
Love
actually Emily and I, my wife now. That was our first date. We went and played tennis.
Nice.
Really?
That was about the last time I played tennis, which is funny. What did you do when you were growing up?
Just typical kid stuff. I did try to, get into go-karts, and I was always a car guy. I was always trying to race cars for a career and work at race shops and have that as a career. And then I quickly learned that it takes a lot more than talent. It takes a lot of money. And but it was a fun hobby. That's kind of actually led me into what, I do now.
Okay.
But yeah, just, typical run around to kid stuff, I guess. I don't know. Average childhood.
Did you do sports?
I did. I mean, I played soccer.
Okay.
Always a soccer fan. And again, go-karting. Typical biking, hiking. I was a Boy Scout, so I did all that camping stuff. Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good thing for kids to do.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
A lot of little
gets them out
life
and
lessons
about.
it teaches you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Did you do Boy Scouts?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I wish I would.
I didn't. I wish I would have now that I look back.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of useful stuff, especially being like out here where it's a very like camping environment. You kind of learn some skills and kind of go off, pitch a tent, and have fun.
Quick tangent. Obviously, we all have an interest in cars to a certain extent.
Oh, do we?
I think we do. So I think a go-kart is like the most affordable way to go have about the most fun that you can.
Definitely.
Like, I think about people, they go get their really nice sports car when they get the money. And usually it's going to be a Corvette or something like that.
Yeah.
You can't use it.
No.
And so the thought of actually having a go-kart where you can just go pound it at a track and just beat yourself up, and at the end of the day you're tired and you got your fix, that just sounds so much fun.
Yeah, it's I starting off in it, I was so competitive with it that now as I'm older, hopping into a cart, I still have that like competitive edge, and it's taken a long time for me to be able to like hop into a car or a go-kart and just actually like relax. But now I'm like the guy that's doing like 40 and the 45 that everyone's honking at on 60.
I know, right? That's me too.
But yeah, go-karting, it's a ton of fun. It definitely is a good workout if you have like an open track. Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice. All right. Tell everyone what you guys do here.
Well, really protect and clean vehicles, I guess is the technical way to say it. But yeah, we're detailers. So wash, clean, protect, do color corrections, which is, kind of what you see people take buffers to.
Okay.
And then our big thing is ceramic coating cars to really kind of protect the paint on your vehicle, as well as interior details, really disinfect and clean the interior, and ceramic coat a lot of the stuff interiors as well.
Really?
Kind of help clean it. Yeah.
I didn't know you could do interior ceramic coat.
You can ceramic coat just about everything. I think you have sunglasses that are coated, right? And
Leather, vinyl, glass. You name
No
it.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yep. It's amazing stuff.
What
even
does it do
sinks
to
and-
glass?
Gives you the ultimate protection. I mean, resists against bugs, water spots, things like that.
Okay.
So, we have a glass treating. It's called glassparency. It's a 3-year coating. And I don't even use my windshield wipers when it rains driving down the road. Yeah, the water just flies right off. Pretty cool stuff. So
That's awesome.
fun story. The last car I had didn't have windshield wipers on
No
it.
way.
It was a little bit of a track race car,
Okay.
so that was weight savings. And we coated with that glassparency, and I really did not need windshield wipers at all. It was
technology can be so amazing.
exactly. Yeah.
Huh.
and detailing has come so far. In fact, usually our request for us is like we want to wash and wax, and we have to go over. We don't carry wax anymore. It's kind of it's like drum brakes for cars. I mean, it served its purpose, but we've moved on in terms of technology with ceramic coatings.
Did you guys, you guys are pretty young. Did you start off washing it and waxing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like-
Ceramic coatings are fairly new. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a new technology, but wax is dead. I mean, it's
Is
just-
okay.
it lasts, a couple of months and then it's gone.
Then it's
so
gone.
we put on stuff that lasts a year up to, 4 years.
Okay.
So,
Which is typically the ceramic stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That is so awesome.
oh yeah, 20 times stronger than any wax.
Okay.
So lasts way longer.
Yeah.
So it's
the
like the good old days, the washing and waxing.
Those days are gone, thank God.
Well, actually, talk to that. Like, bring the viewers a little educational value here. Like, where you spoke to it just a little, but where your industry has come that ultimately helps the consumer.
Oh yeah, definitely helps the consumer, helps us. It's just a better win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the ceramic coatings are the ultimate protection against hydrophobic, against water, bird droppings, water spots, things like that. So, yeah, I can't imagine not having it on my vehicle. It just makes your life so much easier.
Yeah. It's a must.
Yeah.
It's a must.
Yeah.
I think I went 3 weeks without doing it to a recent purchase of mine, and it was driving me nuts just washing it. I could see the dirt
Gotcha.
collect a lot more than usual. And then especially bugs. Bugs tend to wash off, power rinse off really easily, as
Okay.
well as bird droppings. It's going to sound a little wild, but literally if a bird does drop on your car, You can let it dry for like a day or two even, and then literally just go blow it off the car, and it just flies right off. The coating is really like a great anti-static coating, so dirt
Yeah,
and anything
that's
like
interesting. Yeah, because it'll just dust. It's not going to stick as much.
You don't have to wash your car as much, you know.
Yeah.
So
and then when you do wash it, it's a lot easier. It goes quicker.
Way easier.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So, guy, I mean, literally, that is such a good reason to get it done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Once you have one on your vehicle and you see what it can do, then you realize, wow, this is the best way to go. So
Right.
We need to get your BMW done.
Yeah. I don't have a Beamer.
Oh, okay. Or what were you? I'm sorry, Lexus.
The
That's
Lexus,
right,
yeah. No, I would imagine it is one of those things that once you have it, you can't imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
living
can't go
without
back.
it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My mountain bike is ceramic coated, so.
Oh, that's well, and that's interesting. You probably can ceramic coat
Oh yeah.
a ton of things.
Oh yeah.
Kitchen sinks. I mean, it's coming into like the household uses now.
Oh my
Showers, glass showers. That's a big request we have.
Refrigerators, things like that.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell us about that. The application actually, what is the ceramic coating you're referring to, and then what's the application process?
You want to explain that?
Sure.
You probably
So
know better than I do.
to kind of give it into a layman's
Yeah.
terms, because I can get super nerdy on the chemistry of it, as he's probably referring to. It's really just a concentrated kind of silicone-based coating.
Okay.
That's applied in really small areas on a vehicle, all around it. So like a 1 foot by 1 foot, or maybe a 2 foot by 1 foot little area is usually best. And just a little applicator pad and a few drops, or several drops of it rather. It's got a very short cure time, whereas wax typically would be anywhere from like 15 minutes minimum up to 30 or 45 minutes to cure. This is anywhere from 10 seconds to 60 seconds, depending on the temperature that you're working with it in.
Which is why you're going to apply it to such a small area at a time.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You really want to be careful how you apply it.
Yeah.
It flashes, and then to get it off, as you can imagine, a coating that lasts 3 to 4 years, even just 1 year, you're having to rebuff it off in a sense. And buffers are great. They have their purpose. They're a great tool. But again, you want to minimize how often you use the buffer, because that essentially is removing the clear.
Yes.
So then that's why, that's a difference in the detailers. It's how we use the buffer versus, or use a rotary versus DA, how we're measuring paint to make sure we're only taking off just as much as we absolutely need to give the car a great shine and give the surface of the clear coat a smooth surface for the ceramic coat to essentially bond correctly to the surface.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, ceramics, like I said, or like Eric said, wax is really dead. I think there's a hashtag that's like wax is dead. And all it is just photos of ceramic coat.
Yeah.
And it gives it this gorgeous, like crystal clear shine over the clear coat. And then, there might be, and this is getting to the nerdy side of detailing, there's people that say, well, wax gives the car a nicer, warmer glow. And as great as ceramic coat is, you look at like Pebble Beach cars, and a lot of those are still wax, but you got to realize the wax they're using is as much as a bottle of ceramic coat, if not more. It's a very, very high-end wax, and those cars are literally see the day, see sunlight only at the car show. Then they're put away in storage. They're not daily drive. They're not even driven most of the time.
Those don't
They're
count,
awful.
man.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different.
Ridiculous.
But now with some products and technology, like P&S has a great product called Bead Maker.
Okay.
And it's basically you can kind of call it like a spray sealant, not truly a wax, but not a ceramic either. But during the wash process, to actually help dry the vehicle, we can spray this over it, and it will be able to bond to the ceramic coat, but it actually helps give the car that little bit of a warm glow that wax would. So essentially, if you do things correctly and use some great products, you can have the best of both worlds. You can have the protection of ceramic and have the aesthetics of a wax sealant.
Totally.
So yeah, there's a lot of fun tricks and stuff to really get into achieving the aesthetics that someone would want, whether they just want the ceramic look, or they want that hybrid ceramic / sealant wax look on the car.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That is as you were explaining it, my mind was like kind of picturing a car that has just a really nice shine on it because it just got a fresh ceramic coat versus a car that's got a hint of the warmth, and it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
Maybe I can only visualize it, but yeah,
And
there's
some
just
people
something
don't
nice
see it at
about
all,
that
so-
warmth
Yeah.
that you would want.
Yeah, and it really depends.
I mean, personal preference.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think everyone's going to be happy with ceramic coat
I would
because it makes the car look like it just rolled off the showroom floor, if not better sometimes.
I was going to say better.
Oh, better.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate
yeah.
shine.
Yeah.
There hasn't been an unhappy customer yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're putting it on bass boats. We're putting it on everything. So people take their boats out and they're staying cleaner longer. They're easier to wash,
Yep.
you know. So water spots are kind of a thing of the past. So
That's wild.
yeah, it's really
Yeah,
cool.
the first day I came in here, you had a boat right here, and you were.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. And,
Yep.
and you basically said, either I ceramic coat this or I don't do anything to it
Exactly.
because it's just the process of doing the buffing over and over and
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Or you buff
doing
it
it
once.
every couple of months.
Exactly.
Right.
Or you buff it once and you get the ceramic on it
Yep.
and you're good for a few years.
Yep.
It's-
And then we can just reapply the coating and not have to take buffers to it anymore.
And it saves the client a ton of money every year because buffing an entire boat or even car, it's hours. It's careful hours on our time. So you pay for that once. You get the boat or the vehicle dialed in to how you like it, and then apply that coating. And then it's just either reapplying the coating every year or every 2 years. And there's a huge cost savings because we're not having to go over the entire car with a
And correct
rotary.
it every time.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's locked in. But it's also, another point I want to make is ceramic coatings, as fantastic as they are, you still have to wash the vehicle correctly. You still have to take small, easy steps to ensure that, hey, I'm not scratching the paint. Like a big thing are those, I won't name them by name, but I call them like the spinning brushes of death car washes, and everyone will know what I'm talking about. They're inexpensive and you want to run your car through it, but they just terrorize your clear
course.
coat. And even if we've ceramic coated that with like the best ceramic coating, like the IGL Kenzo, for example, it won't last. It won't hold up to those spinning brushes of death.
Makes sense.
Even hand car washes, you really need to be careful using new microfibers each time, doing the correct way to wash the car, using the water correctly in the power washer efficiently. I mean, there's lots of little things that make it very simple to wash the car with the coating, but you still have to kind of take into effect how you're washing something. You don't want to be washing it with a dirty rag with dirt that's just used on another car, and now you're just kind of scratching
Just
over
do some
it.
sandpaper on it.
Yeah, and that's essentially what those car washes are with the spinning brushes. You think about it, you're running your car through there, and those brushes are picking up all that dirt. Now they claim, that they don't hold on to it, but the fact of science is that they do. You can't. Science and physics doesn't lie.
Yeah.
And so the next vehicle is going through there, and they're just getting pounded and pounded. And then again, it's looking at your, kind of nerding out again, looking at your soap. Is your soap pH balanced, or is it a little acidic to try to power clean the vehicle?
Interesting.
Is it a really hot day and you're running it through there? Now your clear coat's kind of warm and soft from the heat, and now you're running it through there, and that's going to make it a little more malleable and let it just kind of get terrorized by those things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the drive-through car washes, their soaps are really high in acid.
Okay.
That's what eats the dirt off to get it off. But we're using pH balanced soap, so it's just easy on the coating. Doesn't strip the coating down or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, man.
yeah, I can nerd out all day
Oh,
on
yeah.
like the chemistry of of our soaps and the polishes and the compounds that we use, and the speeds of the rotary and the different type of pads and like the density of the pad versus the hands. It kind of, you fall into like a rabbit hole of science and chemistry, which is really kind of what drew me into detailing, coming from like an engineering background.
Okay.
It's a science that you can apply it to a car, which is a huge passion of mine, and you instantly see these massive results. Like, even if you don't really polish a car out, just ceramic coating the car, it's an instant shine
I
on
bet.
it, and it lasts so long. But then you do get a car with like a lot of swirl marks, mainly from like bad washing, or no protection of the car and driving just through dirt and dust storms, which is fairly common here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just get all these little mars and marks on the car,
Okay.
and then taking the rotary and going over the car and getting those out and having that clean, crystal clear surface. And you think of those swirl marks, are little like valleys and crevices in your clear coat.
Okay.
And so when the sun's hitting them, it's reflecting back, but through this weird valley. It's not like a perfectly flat
that's
mirror.
why we see what we see.
And so you're seeing a distortion of the color of the car, which is why we call them paint or color corrections. And so when we're able to buff those out, make it a flat, clear coat surface, and then apply a ceramic coating to that, now you're getting this true color shine of the car and what the car is supposed to be. And that's just, it's instant gratification, not just for us, but for the clients
Right.
too.
Absolutely.
And so it's really rewarding to spend 6-7 hours on something, but then look back and be like, wow, this is not, and a lot of customers say like, what, did you repaint the car? Is this a
Right.
new car? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, this is just, some love and care into the car for a few hours, and this is what you get.
Yeah. How many years old are you, and how long have you been doing this?
I'm 39 years old.
Okay.
Been doing it for 5 years now.
Okay. And
So-
how did you get into it?
I used to work at McIlvain Motors, which is it's Batterman's auction right across
yeah.
from Charlotte Hall Museum. So that was the oldest car dealership in Prescott for many years.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the only car dealership to survive the Great Depression
Oh my goodness.
in Prescott. Every single one of them went out of business.
Okay.
So I work for Joe McIlvain, and he was a great guy to work for. So I worked there when I was 18 years old, detailing cars. And
What kind of dealership?
it was a Chrysler dealership.
Okay.
So before York, it was the Chrysler Dodge
Yeah.
dealership.
Interesting.
So yeah, Joe's father is the one who started it, and he died working there. And
Okay.
then Joe ran it for his whole life, and then he actually passed away.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a great place to work. So
Yeah.
I learned a lot there, and worked with some great people, and learned a lot of stuff. But the industry has changed completely,
Right.
So we didn't know what we were doing back then. The technology has come so far, so things have changed drastically.
Do you remember the first experience you had, like applying ceramic coat, or learning about it and just having this?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
what in the world are we
Exactly.
getting into?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's a pretty cool stuff. It makes your life easier, maintaining vehicles, and it really is a game changer in the whole detailing industry.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've talked a lot about ceramic coating. Is that primarily what you guys do here, or?
We do any type of detailing. I mean,
Yeah, so speak to that. Yeah, just only because we've talked a lot about ceramic coating and the benefits of it, but people don't have to get that. So yeah, just
yeah, I mean,
go into a little bit more detail.
yeah, we do, paint corrections. We do trim restoring. We do interior detailing, steam cleaning,
Okay.
stain removals of interior. We do, all different types of stuff to restore vehicles.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. And how did you officially get into the detailing? I mean, you said you were into cars growing up,
Right.
but how does that make its transition into
Well,
detailing?
I think it comes from my parents' cleanliness background, and you have your first car, in part of the responsibility as a teenager owning it was you had to not only keep it clean but keep their cars clean. And so I kind of just got into detailing out of it was a chore that I had to do. And me being me, I you do something once or twice and it takes you an hour or two, and you're like, how, coming from an engineering background, it's like, how do I make this process more efficient? So I just started researching a lot of my own, reaching out to people. Of course, the internet was a huge help. There's a lot of wrong things on the internet, and I think when you first start, you focus on that, and it's almost kind of good though, because you learn along the way, and you learn why things are wrong and why they're wrong, and the why is the most important thing, so that in the future you can understand, how to avoid any mistakes or stuff like that. So, yeah, I kind of got into it just as something to pick up on.
Okay.
And then along the way, I got more and more serious as I had nicer cars that I wanted to keep the paint clean.
Yep.
And then it kind of got to a point where I, I had taken some classes up at a famous place called Gria's Garage in the Northwest. And yeah, I just kind of started like, wow, I really like doing this more than engineering or anything else I was doing. So I kind of started doing a few family friends vehicles just kind of for fun and steak dinners. And then it kind of caught on to the point where, I got in with the local car clubs in Los Angeles and really started working with them a lot more often. Kind of enthusiast BMW, Porsche type vehicles that really wanted their paint to look great and be protected. And then kind of in doing that, I kind of started branching out to detailing in other areas like Phoenix and Scottsdale.
Gotcha.
And actually Prescott, for example.
Yeah.
And then at that time, I fell in love with the Prescott community and area. It's such a good place. And I decided, hey, this is a great place to open up like a detail shop, a detail company. And that's kind of how Eric and I connected.
I was going to say, how did you guys meet?
I reached out to him. I'm an analyst, by nature. So I kind of saw what he was doing, the products and the training that he had. And I was like, wow, this is someone I want to learn from more. This is the guy to talk to in town. And so, I reached out and he was receptive and we started working together. And then, several months later, we're like, let's do a shop. Let's take this up. This is kind of growing and getting bigger and bigger. And we both have a strong passion for what we do. And so we kind of ended up, the short story is that's how we kind of ended up here. So
tell everyone how I believe you're more on the mobile side of things. So you're not here in the shop that we're recording in. Tell everyone kind of the structure of things.
Yeah, so I run around, do the mobile stuff.
Okay.
Chase gets to sit inside where it's nice.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta throw that in there, right?
Yeah. But I run around, do the mobile stuff. I do express details, which are essentially like car washes and then like a mini little detail on the inside. I do interior detailing. We do some ceramic coatings mobile.
Okay.
Chase is the paint perfection master.
Yeah.
He
can call him the paint nerd.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
It's
He
fair.
is. Yeah.
But a lot of what I've learned now is from watching him, understanding him.
Great.
And it's nice sometimes to, getting pushed by someone to get even better and better and better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what, for me at least, like I'm only here now. I'm able to do what I'm doing because I've had, not to talk you up too
Well
much.
done, Eric. No,
No,
that's
but I had
great.
Eric to kind of push me and
vice versa, man. I've learned a lot from you too. So.
yeah. Well, bro hug. We're bro hug after
Yeah.
this. Just go on.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if people don't want to bring their car in, you'll most likely head out there. Is there anything that they have to come in for?
Paint correction, we don't do mobile. That needs to be done in a shop environment with paint correction lights.
Okay.
You can't see what you're doing outside, in the elements.
That makes sense.
So yeah.
Okay.
Once you put a paint correction light on a car, then you see everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we can do a lot of stuff mobile too. So
Cool. Do you like being mobile?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes when it's 95 out, it's a little rough. But I enjoy being outside and soaking up the sunshine. So 300 days of sunshine a year.
It's a lot of sunshine. That's why I love it when it gets cloudy because it's it's such a relief.
Me too, man. Hopefully we get some monsoons soon.
Right? It's like dry this season a little
It is
bit.
dry. Yeah. All right. So that's the business, largely why you guys do what you do. You like making cars look really nice.
Yep.
And I feel like in the last couple years of my own life, I've just, wouldn't be the best way to put it, I've just let my car go. Like I ain't got time for this. I got kids and heck with this. But yeah, there's definitely part of me that is like, man, I want to keep my car clean.
Yep.
You guys are inspiring me to maybe
That's what's
clean
neat.
things
We
up a
can
little bit.
restore it, we can bring it back to life. So
that is pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty amazing some of the stuff we can do.
I want to get into a little bit about you guys being in the Prescott area. You have you ever not lived here?
I lived in Scottsdale for 1 year.
Okay.
When I was a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And then I lived in Flagstaff for 1 year when I was a smaller kid.
Oh, okay.
But I always came back to
Mostly all
Yep.
you know. Okay.
Yeah,
How
that's
come
all
you're
I
still
know.
here? Talk about just this area and what you're interested in and what keeps you here.
Yeah, I've got family here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my mother lives here, and then my wife and my 3 kids. You know, we're kind of rooted here, so
Yeah.
we love it here, and my kids love it, and they love their schools, and
Yeah.
we couldn't see ourselves anywhere else really.
Yeah.
So
I want you to speak a little more to all the outdoor stuff that you
Yeah.
are really interested in, because it's one of the reasons that makes this area
yeah,
what it is.
oh yeah,
It's one of the reasons my family moved here.
good to
Mm-hmm.
hear. I mean, if you live here, you know, you gotta love the outdoors. It's just there's so much fun stuff to do. You know.
Yep.
So there's not a whole lot of things for kids to do, you know, like, you know, as far as, you know, maybe parks and things like that. But, you know, the outdoors is where that comes into play.
Yes.
And, you know, kayaking, hiking, fishing, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I love to do it all, man.
Tons. Yeah, we actually had a camping date set in July, but all the campgrounds have been closed. So they're opened back up this month.
Yeah.
So we got one for September.
Good.
Because we've been itching to get back out. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
I bet, man.
Yeah.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How big a mountain biker are you?
Pretty big mountain
Eric-
biker. Yeah.
Or I mean, Chase told me that you're pretty into
yeah,
it.
It's an addicting sport.
I bet it
There's
is.
some great trails here. So.
Talk just a little bit about the mountain biking culture here,
Oh yeah.
because it's funny having moved here and not knowing anything about the area. I quickly learned we have a lot of people in recovery here. We have a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, and a lot of mountain bikers.
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's
true.
a huge thing.
Yeah.
So just speak to it.
Oh yeah, there's a huge mountain biking community here. They're all really, really good people. It's kind of cool when you get into mountain biking. You make this whole group of friends that you know you never had before, and they're all into it. So it's I recommend if you never done it before, try it out.
I've
And,
never done it.
It's really cool. I mean, they have these Thursday night guys rides, which is it's called PIMBA. It's Prescott
Okay.
Mountain Bike Alliance.
Okay.
So they have a website. They do, you know, group rides every Thursday night guys rides, and then they have a ladies ride Wednesday, and they have it for all ability levels. There's beginners,
Nice.
yeah, there's intermediate, so you can choose whichever one
Yeah.
you want and go ride with.
You
a
don't
group
have
of
an
friends.
excuse not to go.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. How many trails do you think you've ridden? Or how many miles around this place?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think we have like 400 miles of trails here or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
There's always new stuff to explore too. So I love going to Sedona and things like that too.
Yes.
So there's so much good riding
That
here. Yeah.
that's such a good point. Just how close we are to.
yeah.
I mean, not only in the greater Prescott area, but you just go an hour over there, and you're
it's
in a.
freezing in the winter. You go down to Phoenix, you know, you
Yes.
can go to Sedona. There's just so many options. Flagstaff is
Interesting.
great in the summer.
Flag. Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we got to
Do
get
the
you a
kids
mountain
go
bike.
with you?
Yeah, they do.
Or
Yeah. all my
obviously they're at a lower level, but
Yeah.
nonetheless.
No, they all love it.
Yeah.
They're getting into it more and more.
Good.
Yeah.
I think that's a great hobby.
Oh yeah.
Great hobby.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. What's your wife do?
My wife's a nurse.
Okay.
Yeah. She takes care of 2 kids with disabilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
In-home
Yeah.
care? Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yep.
What do you do in your spare time, Chase?
Well, when I'm not here,
Yes.
2 things I guess is like the main thing I do. I mean, I love what we call grand touring, and that's hopping in a car and just driving somewhere out, whether it's the Grand Canyon or you know, a lake or just an old historic town.
Yeah.
So just hopping in the car and sightseeing, you know, for, you know, kind of a mini road trip for the
Yep.
weekend. And then another kind of project, passion project now of mine is like the Cars and Coffee. So organizing the you know, the car culture here in Prescott, getting the community together, bringing out the hot rods and the JDM guys and the Euro guys and the exotic guys, and having one morning a month where we all get together, have coffee, and just kind of let go of everything else in the world and
Yeah.
enjoy the cars that, you know, enjoy our passion together.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it. Other than kind of remodeling our house, that's taken up most of my time lately, or, kind of working on the shop and doing things in here. And, right now, a lot of my time is actually spent just continuing learning detailing and understanding more and more about it. It sounds crazy, but when you really love to do something, it really is fun. It's not so much a job. You keep
100%.
going and going.
I agree.
So a big part of it's, I think I'm somewhat working with like the local Corvette club here and starting to kind of do an instructional class for these car
idea.
groups. Be like, hey, this is kind of how you can take care of your vehicle and wash your vehicle on like on a professional level, and these are the products that we use and why we use them. And some people, we're like, great, let's do it, and some people are like, no, I'd rather have you guys do it, because they see how much work really goes into it.
Exactly.
But yeah, just when I have a chance, I love hiking Glassford, hiking any of the trails like the Dells around here. Yeah, just going out to eat.
That's
trying
awesome.
the local
You've
cuisine.
been here 2 years?
About a year. I lived here a year, but I was visiting
not very long.
for like once a month I would come up and do a detail either in Scottsdale or up here.
Gotcha, okay.
And then I finally decided to make the plunge and move up here.
I've only been here 2. I just hit my 2-year mark.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to keep. Like I now living here, I want to get mountain bikes for the family.
Good.
Like what a good way to get out.
You should.
And I mean that's one of the reasons we moved here is because of the outdoors, and it's really easy to get stuck on these things that just they serve their purpose, but man, we have such a rich area of getting it. So get outside.
I mean, there's so many lakes. I mean, that was one of the coolest things when I was looking up Prescott. It's like there's 3 lakes within like 5.
There's 4. Well,
4,
yeah. I mean,
but and there's just so
really
much
close.
stuff to do. Then there's Mingus Mountain, which is either hiking or biking or hang gliding.
Yes.
I love kayaking. So like being able to get out on a kayak instantly within 10 minutes and just going out in the water and kind of relaxing, that's a huge thing. And there's so much like natural beauty, like especially it's Watson Lake, right, with the kind of the Dell, like and you're just out there looking at the stuff, and it's like it's quiet, everyone's incredibly friendly out there, we're all just happy kind of to be out there. Especially like coming from like a city. I'm just not a city guy, born and raised in a smaller town, coastal city, away from the big city. But everything, not to talk too much bad things about LA, but like it just exploded with people.
It serves
and
its
population.
purpose. It's just very different.
And there's a beauty being able to go surf in the morning and then go like ski at night or something out there. Within like 2-3 hour drive. But do you think
anyone actually does that, by the way? I don't.
You'd be surprised, actually. There's a lot.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, it's like you have to do it at least once in your life as a resident out there. But yeah, no, out here is nicer. There's less people. It's more freedom, and you can do fun things like go mountain biking wherever. How many trails are around here for mountain biking? I mean, use your pick of the litter.
Hundreds of miles.
And then you have a few good lakes to go out. Tons of hiking trails.
Tons.
And if you want to get away, it's like 20 minutes in any direction, and you're kind of like out on your own and kind of serenity of nature and peace and quiet. So,
I agree.
Amen.
Yeah, right.
I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of us love living here for all of those things.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, 2 more things before we wrap up. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions, and then I'll have you give all your contact information and stuff like that. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Give me the first thing that comes to mind. So you're just going to, as soon as it comes to your mind, just say it.
All right.
You ready?
This is scary.
It's easy.
I wasn't nervous till now.
What's your favorite thing about Greater Prescott?
The freedom.
Yeah,
The freedom and the nature. Yeah.
Nature, yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant in Greater Prescott? Then just name a few.
Barley Hound, because we can bring the dog, obviously. Yeah.
Prescott Brewing Company.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. There's a lot, I think.
There are.
Farm Provisions, some really great food as well. Yeah. We can go on, but
I agree. What's the number one thing on your Greater Prescott bucket list?
Well, what's yours? Because you've probably done everything already. So what's left on yours?
Good question. I'd like to explore the Bradshaw Mountains a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of unexplored stuff. Not many people over in that area.
Is that out Lynx Lake Road or
Well, actually,
where are the Bradshaws
basically
exactly?
in between Dewey and like Senator Highway, so you could
Yes.
get to them either way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
Big Bug Mesa. There's a lot
Big
of
Bug.
cool.
I've driven a little bit there.
Cool.
So pretty.
Yeah, gorgeous up there.
Gorgeous.
I need to do more exploring over in that area. It's kind of remote,
Mm-hmm.
little section of town. So
But it gets up in elevation and it
Oh,
gets
yeah.
beautiful real
Oh,
quick.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
area.
Probably to pick up a mountain bike here
Okay.
and not crash
There
on
we
it.
go.
Yeah. Chase this guy. Try to chase this guy down a little bit maybe, but
Nice.
yeah.
That'd be fun.
What is your all-time favorite vehicle?
Oof.
That we've owned, or
No.
oh, okay. I would say probably Dane's Lamborghini.
Yeah, that's going to be that orange Lamborghini you see at Cars and Coffee.
Okay.
He brings that out often. All-time favorite, that's a tough one for me.
I know.
Because
I
I'm a huge
agree.
car guy. I don't think there's one in particular. There's probably a few.
Yeah, name a few.
If I have to name two, it's probably the E46 M3,
Okay.
which was a 2001 to 2006 BMW. And then probably the McLaren F1.
Okay.
That's a pretty go-to car for car guys. So
That's
yeah.
pretty epic.
Yeah.
Nice. What are 3 words that you use to describe living in Greater Prescott?
Relaxing, freedom, and fun.
Yeah,
Is that?
it's good to me. I love it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
If you weren't doing car detailing, what would you be doing?
I think the 10-year-old me still wants to be a professional racer.
Yeah.
I think realistically, I'd get back into engineering or like service management of a dealership again. But yeah,
I don't know if I could see myself doing anything else.
that's the right answer. That's
yeah.
what I should have said the first time.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a good question. Mountain bike coach? I don't know.
Yeah.
The high school here has a mountain
Yeah.
biking team. That is
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
My stepdad is the assistant coach. His
That
name's
is
Dan
so
Hammis.
cool.
Yeah, he's a really good rider. Good guy.
Man, what an amazing sport
Oh,
to
yeah.
do in high school.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
any
wish we
time,
had
but
it when we were in high school.
yeah.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of a newer thing for the high schools around here.
Good
It's
for
great.
them.
Yep.
good for them.
Chino has one, and Prescott Valley, they all have one now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Actually, real quick, what do they how do they compete?
I believe they just compete against all the other schools in Arizona.
Okay.
So Phoenix, Tucson, they all come together and do races all over the state. They're called NICA.
Okay, and I guess so. What's a race consist of?
Good question. It's more of cross country racing, so many miles of grueling climbing and racing. Yeah, I would say
Okay.
probably 20 miles worth of racing.
Okay.
And these kids go all out. There's
Yeah.
some amazing riders
Oh,
in
I
the
bet.
state. It's unbelievable.
I bet.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. Those are fun questions, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're easy.
Oh yeah.
Tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, and just to recap, the services that you offer.
Well, we have two numbers. One is the mobile number, which I never,
928-848-3799.
Okay.
and then the shop here is 928-910-0686.
I'll put that up.
So in the shop, we focused more on color corrections
Okay.
and ceramic coating, kind of like paint restoration. However, I'm sure Eric will appreciate this. We do everything in here, and it's a clean environment. We have a waiting room. There's a TV, a refrigerator, AC, so you can really relax. Hang out for an hour or two, or even less, depending on what we're doing. But we do everything from really A to Z with detailing, from interior washes or details to kind of paint correction, restoration services.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have dirty interior and you want to clean it up, and then not just do that, but take another step to help keep it clean, keep the investment you just paid someone to professionally steam and kind of get out the grime in the car and ceramic coat it, to just taking a buffer of the car, measuring the paint, doing things correctly, and working with whomever to get the car in a condition they want it.
Yeah. Actually, I wish we would have touched on it because you said the word investment, and I think that's largely where you guys come in. Is you help people protect their investment.
Absolutely.
And I think there's something really special to that.
Yeah.
I mean, we drive our cars every day. Our cars are a big part of our life. And so when you walk out to a clean car, a car that's been ceramic coated, and yeah, it just rained, but man, that water just, there's hardly any dust on it or whatever. You know that it's protected. That even though you drove down a dirt road, you're good.
That's true.
I mean, especially in today's kind of environment, just even the interior side, keeping things disinfected and coated to keep it clean. So when you do walk back into your vehicle, it's a clean environment. You're not sitting in anything you don't want to be sitting in.
Right.
And we don't realize all the dirt and kind of germs that we carry with us everywhere.
So when
it's
you
nice
guys were
having
talking
that.
about doing interior detailing, my mind went right to my steering wheel. Oh great, what literally what is on that thing? I don't want to know. But no, it just made me think I need to clean that more. It's something simple.
Well, hopefully when
do it.
things kind of loosen up, we can start kind of giving some just quick detail classes and get the community involved and just kind of spread the education. I always believe in like an open source, because a lot of stuff I've learned is like an open source, just contacting other elite detailers and picking their brain and learning from that, and then finding a way to translate that to you, to the average car
to
owner.
the lay person.
I care about my car and I want to keep it clean, and I have some time to do it, and maybe it's a relaxing thing for you to do every Sunday for like 40 minutes to an hour, or get the family involved, get the kids out there and teach them structure and how to clean something and keep it nice. So
Well said.
Anything else before we wrap up?
I think we're good.
No,
that
that's
was fun.
Yeah, this has been good. Thank you for having us again.
You guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you learned that your car is an investment, and a really good way to take care of that is through allowing these guys to take a look at your car, your vehicle, and get you some at least give you some education on what can be done with it to protect it ultimately.
Right.
To keep that thing looking as good as it did, even better than day one when you drove it off the lot. So they're a great resource. Please reach out with any questions. Like, I feel like that's often where people start. They just don't know what to do. Give them a phone call.
Yep.
They're a great resource. You guys, thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.